Okay, hey guys, it's Asha. So today I have my November wrap up for you guys, and this month was a little bit crazy of a month. I only read 3 books this month, but they were all like so good. I loved all of them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about this month. This month was crazy with school and I had Thanksgiving break, and I actually didn't have as much time as I thought to read as I would over Thanksgiving break, but anyways, we'll get into that later. But first, I want to say I'm sorry if the lighting is really weird. I have my lamp like shining right on me because it's really gross outside, and I'm taking a break from studying. I have finals this week and next week, so that's why I may not be as like woo as I usually am, because I'm kind of stressed about all my tests. But yeah, I thought I would take a break and film this video for you guys. Oh, another thing, I have over 600 subscribers. Like, that's crazy. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to me. It means so much when you guys comment and we talk back and forth about books, and I'm getting friend requests on Goodreads. Like, I love it. You guys making me want to keep making videos. I want to keep reading and telling you guys about the books I'm reading, and I want to hear about all the books you're reading. This is just awesome. I love BookTube, so thank you guys so much for welcoming me and all that stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, I read 3 books this month, but I started a lot of books because my mind was just kind of all over the place. Like, nothing could keep my attention. It was just very sporadic. I don't know what was going on. But the very first book that I read this month, or the month of November, was The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. And this book was so good, you guys. Like, so good. It is definitely one of my all-time favorite books ever. I love this book so much, and I will be doing a separate review on this because some people asked me to do that, but I want to do this along with the movie review. And I'm so mad because over Thanksgiving break I was planning on seeing this movie, but they weren't playing it in my grandma's town at the movie theater. I was so mad. So hopefully they'll have it at my mom's city over winter break. I can watch it because I want to do sort of like a comparison review, book and movie review. But yeah, this book was so good. So good. 5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't read this yet, if you're thinking about reading it, I really suggest it. It was amazing. Amazing. I loved it so much. Okay, next book. After that, I put up my November book haul, and I asked some of you guys, should I read Vampire Academy or Uglies? And overwhelmingly, people said Vampire Academy. So I picked it up, Vampire Academy. And I don't know what it was, but this book it just wasn't doing it for me. I got about halfway through, I think. Yeah, like a little, almost halfway, a little bit before halfway, I think. 140 pages in. And I don't know what it was. This book just wasn't doing it for me, guys. I don't know. And plus, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking about 172 Hours on the Moon and how much I wanted to read that book. So I was just like, Asha, don't force yourself. So I just put it down and I picked up 172 Hours on the Moon by Johan Harstad. I hope it's not too glary. But yeah, so I picked this up, and you guys, this book was so good. I was so surprised by this, and I almost finished this book in one sitting, but I had to stop myself so I could finish writing my paper. This book was so good. So creepy, you guys. If you're looking for a creepy book, I really suggest this book. Like, I was looking over my shoulder the whole time I was reading, because I was reading it at night, so I kept like looking over my shoulder. It creeped me out, but it's so good. And another thing that's also really creepy that you don't find out to the end, but at the very end, he puts this author's note in there right here where he tells you that like he got this ideas from true life events that happened, and there are like certain passages in here that are like real. Like, some of the stuff that happens, it actually happened. He just took it straight out from real life, and that made it even creepier. And then also when he's explaining like exactly what's on the moon and what's happening, like, he explains it in a way where you're like, I'm pretty sure that has happened to me. I was like, wait a minute, I was like, I think this happened to me before. I'm pretty sure this has happened. So it was freaking me out because I just kept thinking like, I'm sure this has happened to me. I'm sure I've seen this. So this book was freaky. And I give it 4 out of 5 stars just because I'm very particular about books that I give 5 out of 5 stars, but this book was so good. I really suggest it. So then after that, it was Thanksgiving break, and I told you guys that I wanted to read The Diviners by Libba Bray, and I got to page 58. Again, started it, didn't finish it. And this book was pretty good so far. Like, it kept my attention, and I was like, yeah, this book, I can do it. I can read this for the rest of November, even though it's a huge book. I was like, I got this. I got this. But then me and my brother went to go see Catching Fire. Ugh, the movie was so good. I loved it. And I was just in the mood for a dystopian. I had to read a dystopian book. So I picked up The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, because this book was so good, you guys. Like, I was so impressed. I was trying, like, I had my expectations set pretty low because I didn't want to get disappointed again with another overhyped book on BookTube, right? So I was just like, I'm just gonna read it and we'll see what happens. No, this book deserves all the hype. I absolutely loved it. Like, I will be reading the novella and the sequel very, very soon. I absolutely love this book. It's done so well. Like, it's just such a good story, and I felt like I knew Ruby like through and through. Like, she's my girl, I love her, and I knew Liam and I knew Chubbs. Like, I just knew every character, and that's what I love about it. And the other thing that I love is that there's so many different kinds of plot twists and so much stuff happened in this book. So much stuff happened in this book. And this book is so dark. I wasn't expecting it to be that dark, but I really like that about it, because to me it made it more realistic. It wasn't all like fluffy. I don't know, even though some dystopian books are supposed to be super dark, I feel like sometimes they gloss over some of like the violence, or I don't know, I just feel like sometimes you gloss over it. But this book was pretty intense, and I really, really loved it. And another thing, I have to say this, another thing that I loved is how she, I don't know how to explain it, like every time Ruby was like going through something, I was going through it with her. Like how she was going through the whole figuring out who she could trust, and like when they got to the camp, I was like, no, everyone, y'all need to leave. Cannot trust this place. But then they were like liking it more, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. But then nope. I just loved it. I loved it so much. So good. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars, you guys. Yes, so good. So that's all the books that I read. I only read 3 full books in the month of November. These 3 here, and they were all such good books. I had a really good reading month. Even though I only read 3, still a really good reading month. And yeah, so I'm gonna do my December TBR in a separate video, just because I don't want this one to be too long, because I think my last one was a little bit too long. But yeah, so check out my next video. It'll probably be like up like immediately after, because I'm about to film it right now. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.